It has been difficult.
So let me ask you the role of peer specialists. I know that in the 2 years I've been working for CCBC, it's been the joke I make is that this is the first time a mental health diagnosis was a job requirement.
Yes.
Whereas for years it was something I would hide, and I think a lot of folks would hide. So you must take gratification in the fact that you're getting people with lived experience to work. I mean, how it must make you feel good as an agency to allow that to happen.
Absolutely. We're very excited that I've seen many people in the past year move off their benefits, which is sometimes very scary for folks, but they've taken that risk and said, I want to work and I want to contribute to society and be a worker, and we've given people the opportunity to work and paid them a good salary.
Absolutely.
Same salary for any counselor, peer specialists are given. Their role is different in that they're being asked to use their lived experience to provide peer support and to help people develop what we call wellness recovery action plans. So they're bringing in something special that has not been offered before, I don't feel, to individuals living in residential programming or case management services. It's something that we feel is really going to make the difference here, that says, I've lived through this and I'm doing well. I can inspire you to get to the point where I'm at. And I think that we've seen, it's going to take time, but we're seeing more and more folks say, if you can do it, so can I. And
Absolutely.
Move forward in their recovery. And the rehabilitation interventions that we can offer through this program will help more and more people begin to hopefully have that confidence and that ability to move forward and say, I'd like to live on my own. I'd like to try that job. I may have symptoms, but I can learn to live with those symptoms.
Right.
I understand I have an illness, but that shouldn't stop me from living a good life with these supports that you're offering.
Let me ask you, because I've had the curiosity of this issue. Was there any trepidation on having people with lived experience work for CCBC? Was there ever some feeling like, are they really ready? Are there leeways that are given to people with lived experience that aren't with people who are, don't have lived experience?
Well, I think you know me well enough that I didn't have any concerns, because I've always worked side by side with folks in the Clubhouse model as well as in this model of the recovery learning community, and my belief that we're all people and we all have different issues we deal with, and that this is just using one person's experiences to support another. Can I say that we had to look at the need to develop accommodations? I think anyone who comes to work at CCBC who has any need and any need for some particular supports for accommodations around their work, it's important that we address that. Yeah. They need to address it, and we need to address it. So we did, when we developed the recovery learning community, we did address that issue of how can we best support people, and because you're a part of the development of a critical piece, which is peer support for the peer specialists.
Right.
To help them to do well in their job. Because for many people, moving into part-time or even full-time work for the first time in many years is quite stressful.
Absolutely.
Our work alone is stressful, the work that we do. Being a peer specialist can be a big change for some individuals. So I need to say that Jeff is our peer specialist coordinator for one of the contracts.
I didn't even introduce myself.
Jeff Rothman, in addition to hosting this show, is the peer specialist coordinator for one of our contracts. Actually, he's helping with both of them, and eventually we hope to bring on someone else in the Attleboro area, but he helps to supervise all the peer specialists. And the critical piece is making sure those peer specialists have support and training ongoing, and that is something that we built into this contract. I've learned around the state, not everyone has that focus. I think most of the contracts do have peer specialists, but the notion of someone whose position is solely to provide a coordinated process to support and train those individuals and make sure that they are that the issues that the special issues that may come along with this role are recognized.
Right.
And we've struggled with it,
Absolutely. And in fact, as we speak, we have several peers right now taking the Certified Peer Specialist training. They're up in Westminster. Give a shout out to the folks. If they get the program out there, I don't know. But I know that there's a lot of excitement with the peer specialists. There's a gratification that they're given a chance to work and work at something they're passionate at, which seems to be the common theme, is the passion that someone, who has been beaten down in life just by the nature of the illness, the wonderful feeling it is to actually work.
Yes.
It's just a great experience.
And that, I have to say, to me, is what's the most important thing. I know everything's important, but I have to say everyone needs to get up every day and have something to look forward to and to feel worthwhile and to be a part of. And every individual that is involved with CBFS and everyone who works for CBFS has a purpose. And so the peer specialist role is really important to provide support to individuals, to help inspire them. Again, as I said earlier, not everyone wants to be a peer specialist, though. Some people want to just try work or return to the work world. And so what are the types of things we need to do to help a person move from being in a hospital and experiencing symptoms to someone who's part of the work world? And
right.
So we've looked at what are the types of supports we need to provide to those individuals. We have our individual placement and support program, which is part of both contracts. We have employment coordinators in both the Taunton and Attleboro side. And we have a focus on helping anyone who's interested in trying work to have the opportunity to look at what is it? What do you want to do? Do you need to go through mass rehab for an evaluation? Do you have the skills but you just need the opportunity? And so our coordinators will sit down with individuals and discuss what that might be. So that's another piece of CBFS to me that's so exciting, is returning or trying work. We have a lot of other possibilities there are people who have issues around substance abuse, and that might be getting in the way of them being able to function. So it could be that they need to attend one of our dual recovery meetings and look at what are the issues that get in the way of their ability to function successfully, in their opinion.
Well, you mentioned DRA. What can you tell me the goings on, since I haven't been there for a few months, at the RLC? The Recovery Learning Community it's on Main Street in Taunton has been sort of the groundbreaking development for this area, because there's only, I think, 4 or 5 in the state. There's Central Mass and out in Western Mass. But how are things going at the RLC in your estimation?
Well, the Recovery Learning Community, there's 6 of them in the state total. And CCBC supports the Southeastern Recovery Learning Community. What's exciting is we're now expanding what is called the RLC. Underneath it, we have what's called Resource Connection Centers, where people can come for support. And one here is in Taunton and Attleboro. The other is opened in Brockton. We're now in the process of opening one in Plymouth, and then the next one will be in New Bedford. The good thing relating to CBFS is that we're really trying to make sure the RLC is trying to be a support to CBFS and trying to make sure that the peer specialists that work in CBFS have the training that we talked about.
Right.
For example, training on, we provide peer facilitator training through the RLC, so that you, in your role as coordinators, need to, the groups work together and hopefully can make sure any peer specialists, or, as you know, you're going to start a Wellness Recovery Action Plan training for any individuals, clients who want to go through training to become a peer facilitator or a Wellness Recovery Action Plan facilitator, meaning someone who can work with a member, I go back to that clubhouse language, member, an individual on doing their own plan. We're trying to get as many individuals receiving services to be actually providing services too.